What's up everyone, this is Wasim from the Tech Boys and I have a full review of the US version of the Samsung Galaxy S3 and I have a Garnet Red. So first we're going to talk about the hardware and specifications of the Galaxy S3. So as for the look of the S3 for the US, it looks exactly the same as the international, and I have my review of the international Galaxy S3, I'll put that in the description box below. But same, it looks exactly the same, other than a few minor tweaks. We can see we have the same 4.8-inch HD Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 720 by 1280 pixels, bringing pixels per inch at 306. So it's not the highest compared to the HTC One X or the Apple iPhone 4S, but you do that extra screen real estate, and over 300 pixels per inch, you're not going to see really much pixelation. We have a physical home button which carried over from the international Galaxy S3, as well as a menu button and a back button. We have a 1.9 megapixel front facing camera that can shoot in 720p HD video. So on the thickness standpoint, it's 8.6 millimeters thick. Even with that LTE radio, it didn't gain any kind of thickness. So we have the volume rocker on the left side. On the other side, we have the power button. And on the back we have an 8 megapixel camera that can shoot in 1080p video. It has a back-sided illuminated sensor. The aperture is a 2.6. We can see the flash as well as the speaker on the back. So this is almost the exact same camera system as the Apple iPhone 4S. We can also see our AT&T branding as well as the Galaxy S3. And this is going to differ for Verizon, Sprint, and T-Mobile. At the bottom we have our micro USB charging and syncing port as well as our microphone. And at the top we have our headphone jack as well as secondary mic. And then we do also have a full removable back cover. And we have our 2100 milliamp hour battery, an expandable micro SD card slot so you can expand your Galaxy S3 for an additional 64 gigabytes, a micro SIM tray. So unlike other devices like the HTC One X or the Galaxy Nexus, you can actually expand more storage with an SD card slot, as well as change the battery versus the One X. Inside the phone is a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon S4 chip. So this was traded off from the quad-core Exynos chip found in the international version due to LTE that Exynos is not compatible with it. But instead we also get twice as much RAM. There's 2 gigs of RAM in this guy opposed to 1 gig in the international version. In the US you can get the Galaxy S3 in 3 different colors. There's the Garnet Red, Pebble Blue, and Marble White. The Garnet Red is only available through AT&T, so if you're on Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, you're only stuck with the white and the blue. Models come in 16GB and 32. AT&T models only come in 16. 32 you would have to look through Verizon, Sprint, or T-Mobile. But you do get that micro SD card so you can expand your memory to an additional 64 gigs. So as for the design of the phone, it has rounded edges. Everything is rounded off pretty nicely, so it definitely fits really nice in the hand. And it is a big phone, so definitely play with it in the store. But overall, I really like the design of the Galaxy S3. Even though it's made out of plastic, it's still pretty good. It's not mind-blowing, but it does a really good job, and it gets a thumbs up by me. The Galaxy S3 is running Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich with Samsung's own TouchWiz UX user interface. If you've used a TouchWiz 4.0 device, there's really not much learning curve. It looks slightly different, but not too much. You still get your customizable panels, and you can add more home screens, and you can go ahead and add all your widgets, change the home screens, add app shortcuts, things like that. So Android is very customizable if you've never used an Android phone before. So if you pull down the notification tray, you still have your quick toggles for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, mobile data, screen orientation, things like that, as well as your quick access for settings. And then in settings, you can manage your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth connections, and everything. And with Ice Cream Sandwich, you also get built-in data usage. So you can, if you're not on an unlimited plan, you can go ahead and track that, and that's really easy to do. And the Galaxy S3 has some other neat features like motion, so you can take screenshots by doing palm swipe. Let me see if I can do that. Things like that, and I just did a screenshot. Also shake to and a few others. Now, as for, it depends on the carriers, but AT&T, there are some AT&T preloaded apps like my AT&T Navigator. And I do also have some Google applications, as well as YouTube, Google Plus, of course. Now, the Galaxy S3 also has some really cool features. One is Smart Stay. So what Smart Stay does is, if your screen timeout is not too long and you're reading something, all you have to do to keep the phone from not turning off is just look at the screen. The screen will not turn off because it's using that front-facing camera, so you can see that it was there. I'll go ahead and zoom in so you can see it again. So when that depends on your timeout, it could be 30 seconds, it could be up to a minute. The screen turns off when you're not using it, so this is really useful if you're reading a really long article, browsing through your emails, things like that. So you saw that, how that light comes up. You also get S-Beam. S-Beam is a cool way to transfer your pictures and videos using Wi-Fi Direct and NFC from a Galaxy S3 to another Galaxy S3. Now let's jump into the keyboards. So the keyboard, you do have the Samsung keyboard, which is pretty easy to type on just because the screen is it's really big. So the Quick Brown Fox jumps over the lazy dog. So pretty simple to type. You can also transition it into landscape mode, which is just monstrous, so you can see that. If you don't like these keyboards, you can always download them from the Google Play Store. As well, there is Google Voice Typing. So Google Voice Typing, what it does is it uses your voice to type what you're saying, and you can see it does it while I'm speaking, which is a pretty cool feature. So those are the keyboards. Again, if you don't like these built-in, download more from the market. There are just a ton of choices. Now let's jump into the web browser. Now this is not the stock browser that comes on the Galaxy S3. There is the regular browser, but here I have downloaded Chrome. I highly recommend downloading Chrome just because it's a lot easier to use, and it has a lot of cool features like moving from your tabs, just kind of like that. But overall, even the stock browser on the Galaxy S3 is really fast. So if we go to a website, let's go to phonearena.com. And I'm loading this over 4G LTE. So especially if you're in an LTE area with Verizon, Sprint, or AT&T, everything loads up pretty fast. So you can see extremely smooth. I think the Galaxy S3 has the smoothest browser I've ever used on any mobile device. So everything works well. Double tap to zoom in. You need to create more tabs. It's pretty easy. Just tap new tab. And you can always manage your favorites, reading list, things like that. Now let's jump into the camera. So we're gonna get the HTC One X. So the camera is really good. It takes pictures really fast. You can see that it just took that picture. As well, you can do digital zoom. This autofocus macro. You can also change your shooting mode, so you can do burst shot, HDR, smile shot, beauty, panorama, cartoon, buddy photo shared, where I'll instantly use face detection to send the picture to your contacts. And burst shot. Burst shot was, I think the HTC One X was the first to get that right, but the Galaxy S3 is no exception. So just take the pictures, and you can see at the bottom it took 20 pictures. Jump back to that, and you can see right at the bottom all the pictures you took. So this is really good if you're taking some action shots of someone moving, or those jump shots as well. A really great camera on this device. And now I want to talk about performance. Like I said, the Galaxy S3 is extremely fast. I really haven't had any lag using the phone. That dual-core processor combined with 2 gigs of RAM makes multitasking really easy. So this is how you can multitask on the Galaxy S3. All these applications are open. You can easily jump back and forth between them. As well as you can manage all your applications, as well as clear your memory. So very fast phone, probably one of the fastest phones I've ever used. Battery life. So it has that 2100 milliamp hour battery. And again, with LTE, a big screen, dual core processors, 2 gigs of RAM. It's definitely going to affect battery life. It's not as good as the international version due to it being HSPA Plus only, but LTE I was able to get through the full day pretty easily. But every smartphone you're going to have to charge every day, so that's the same with the Galaxy S3. If you're going to be using it moderate to heavy, you're going to charge it every day. If you're a really light use person, you might even hit 2 days. As far as call quality, Galaxy S3, really good. Earpiece is really nice. The speaker is not the loudest, but it does a pretty good job. But I've been pretty happy with call quality on the Galaxy S3. No dropped calls whatsoever on AT&T, and I've heard really good things about the other versions on Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon. As for voice assistant apps, the Galaxy S3 comes with S-Voice. S-Voice is a competitor similar to Siri, but it's not really as good as Siri, but it does do a pretty good job, and it can get a lot of answers for you. So I'll just do a simple demonstration of what S-Voice can do. So to activate S-Voice, you can double tap the home button. What's the weather outside?
Here is the weather for San Mateo, California.
And then it can give me the weather. What's really nice about S-Voice is you don't always have to press the button to activate it. You can name your S-Voice. So here it's saying Hi Galaxy to activate it. So I'll go ahead and do another test. Hi Galaxy. Who is the Queen of England?
Elizabeth II.
Then you can press more, and it does give you some information. And it does use Wolfram Alpha just like Siri. And you can use it to get directions, set meetings and calendar appointments, things like that. So it does a good job. It's not as consistent as Siri, so sometimes it'll be really fast or sometimes it wouldn't even understand me. I also have that video of S-Voice versus Siri. Just look at our channel and you'll find that video there as well. Now the Galaxy S3 can do a really cool feature where you can basically watch a video while you're doing other things with it. So if I pull up this video right now and I'll lower the volume, you can see this button right in the right corner. Tap on that and then the video is right here. So you can go to your home page and the video is still playing and you can move that video around. So that's pretty cool. So I actually use this feature a lot. I was watching the Olympics on my Galaxy S3 and I was able to watch it while I was text messaging or browsing the web, things like that. So I can really find this pretty useful. It's not going to be something I'm using every day, but definitely when you need it, it's extremely useful. And then when you want to jump back, just tap on it and it continues right where you left off. This has been my review of the US Samsung Galaxy S3. If I had to rate this out of 10, I would definitely give the Galaxy S3 a solid 9.2. The reason why I wouldn't give it a 10 is the design. It's not really amazing. It's a good design, but it's not the same as like the Apple iPhone 4S or even HTC devices where they're using premium materials such as polycarbonate, glass, and steel, things like that. But camera is extremely nice. It's a really fast phone. The Galaxy S3 is the best Android phone and arguably the best smartphone I've ever used. So definitely, if you're waiting for any other devices, don't wait. Just get the Galaxy S3. You're going to be really happy with it. Thank you guys for watching my review. Stay tuned for more videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also going to have a lot more videos coming up. And we have a giveaway coming up at 300 subscribers. So go ahead and subscribe and stay tuned for that video. Thank you.